On Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg issued an apology to families who lost children at the hands of social media. We have more on the tech giant CEO's apology yesterday on Capitol Hill. And the search continues this morning for two undocumented immigrants who slipped through a ground and air search yesterday following a bailout in Goliad County. We'll tell you what happened after the search for the suspects hit a dead end. Continuing coverage in the Crossroads, SkyWest Airlines will receive millions in federal funds from the Department of Transportation. We have the details on the new grant straight ahead.
And that nice spring-like weather is going to hang on just a little bit longer. And even next week after that cool front comes over the weekend, we'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
It only happens once every 2 years, and today is that day. I'll have that coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the first day of February 2024. The time is now 6:31 on our Thursday morning, and today it's Serpent Day. Makes me think of that serpent in the mouth of the eagle on the Mexican flag.
Interesting. And when I think about serpent or just think of a snake, I don't know why, but I think of Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah.
Think of the second movie.
Of Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, there's Lord Voldemort and the snake at the very end of the second movie. I don't know why.
So
That's
funny.
the first thing it made me think of.
Or Trust in Me, Caw from Jungle Book.
There you go.
Love that song. The voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Great movie.
All right, Parker. Well, how's it looking out there for us?
Well, out there this morning, Carolina, it's just a little bit chilly, but also quite humid as well with that cloud cover hanging out. But right now, if y'all are tuning in with us this morning to look at a live look at Victoria. It's actually East Victoria right now. It's a little bit of traffic out there this morning. Something going on out there this morning. But right now, like I said, it's a little bit chilly right now, about 52 degrees. But with the dew point just 2 degrees off of that temperature, you got a 93% humidity. So it is a little bit humid out there, but not enough, at least here in the Crossroads, to create any of that light fog. But looking across the board, some of us could be seeing some fog, as you got Beeville's at 95%, Karnes City y'all also at 95%, Goliad y'all at 96%, but other than that, not really expecting any other fog other than the southwestern counties. But if you do see some fog, please be careful out on the roads this morning. But looking at your weather headlines here, it's going to be nice and warm for the rest of this week. This nice warm weather that we've had, this nice warm weather that we've been having is going to keep up for the next couple days until we get that cool front coming on Saturday afternoon, which is going to bring us a good shot at some showers and some thunderstorms overnight Friday night into Saturday morning as well. We'll take a look at that later. But like I said, looking at those temperatures, all of us starting out in the low 50s this morning and some of us in the upper 40s. But if you don't like that chilliness, it's going to be warming up yet again for today. All of Texas, not just here, all of Texas is going to have that nice warm weather for today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be nice and warm until that cool front comes Saturday afternoon, bringing us back into the 60s and even 70s yet again next week. And we'll take a look at that and more in just a few moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Mark Zuckerberg on Capitol Hill Wednesday, turning directly to families who lost children victimized on social media platforms. Senator Josh Hawley compelled Zuckerberg to turn around during a hearing with tech CEOs talking about online child sexual exploitation. Parents sitting behind them held up photos of their dead children. Zuckerberg turned around and said he was sorry for all the families for what they've gone through after the Missouri Republican pressed him on whether he'd apologize to parents directly. Meta says Zuckerberg is working on industry-wide efforts to make sure no one has to go through the things those families have had to suffer. Authorities captured 10 undocumented immigrants following a bailout at Clip Road and U.S. Highway 59. Although authorities captured 10 people, they say they believe 2 got away. The 2 suspects reportedly slipped through a ground and air search after the search for the suspects hit a dead end in Goliad County. Sheriff deputies made another stop in Goliad where they arrested 2 more immigrants wanted by Border Patrol. Authorities turned over all immigrants to the Corpus Christi Border Patrol station. A new warning about U.S. national security and the danger posed by China. The FBI director told Congress yesterday that China is looking to wreak havoc by using cyber attacks to target U.S. water and power systems. And that's not all he's warning about.
China's multi-pronged assault on our national and economic security make it the defining threat of our generation.
A stark new warning from U.S. intelligence leaders about the cyber threat posed by China.
Let's be clear, cyber threats to our critical infrastructure represent real-world threats to our physical safety.
FBI Director Christopher Wray and other officials warning lawmakers that the country's transportation systems, water treatment plants, and electrical grids are vulnerable to hackers working on behalf of the Chinese government.
Telecommunications going down so people can't use their cell phone. People start getting sick from polluted water. Trains get derailed. Air traffic control system, port control systems are malfunctioning. This is truly an everything, everywhere, all at once scenario.
The Justice Department has revealed it recently dismantled a Chinese hacking group called Volt Typhoon that hijacked hundreds of home and small business routers to target infrastructure. Former White House Cyber Response Chief Jeff Green says China is looking to create chaos.
The goal of these intrusions is largely to create that societal panic, and we need to make sure that we are prepared not to panic. We take the power away from our adversaries when we can take a punch, roll with it, and move forward.
Director Wray says China's hackers outnumber FBI cyber personnel 50-1. He wants more funding to fight the threat. But experts say the American people can also do their part.
These intrusions are happening because of fundamental flaws in devices that these critical infrastructure services are using. So you as an individual can't do a lot to protect the critical infrastructure, but you can help prepare yourself.
When President Biden met with Chinese President Xi back in November, Xi assured Biden China would not interfere with the upcoming presidential election. FBI Director Christopher Wray testified he will believe that when he sees it. Andrea Fuji, ABC News, New York.
A major announcement from Senator John Cornyn regarding SkyWest Airlines. The airlines received $19.1 million in federal funds that will provide essential air services to and from the Victoria region. The funds will get distributed over a 3-year period, and the grant will provide services like 12 round-trip flights per week from Victoria Regional Airport to Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. The funding is provided by the U.S. Department of Transportation through the Essential Air Services program. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you plan to fly out of the Victoria Airport this year? Okay, let's take a look. 35% of you say yes, you do. And 65% of you say no, you do not. Thank you for taking part in today's viewer poll. The snow in Anchorage, Alaska, piling up at a record-setting pace this winter. This after the city set a new record for the earliest arrival of 100 inches of snow. That's more than 8.5 feet. More than 16 inches of snow fell in the city just this past weekend. Last year, Anchorage received a total of 108 total inches of snow, making this only the second time the city has seen back-to-back years of 100+ inches of snow in its history. Sweetheart spending is expected to reach $14.2 billion this holiday season. The National Retail Federation projects high Valentine's Day spending this year. The organization says it's expecting to see a shift in spending for certain gifts, including flowers, clothing, jewelry, and a night out. Based on trends, 2024 is expected to be the second most expensive Valentine's Day in the past 10 years, with 2020 being at the highest at $27.4 billion. The average couple spends about $180 each on Valentine's or leading up to the special day. And remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:39 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now. Sunrise. It's February, but for one local family, it still feels like Christmas.
I'm ABC's Edwin in Washington. The CEOs of big tech companies faced heated questions from senators who accused them of failing to protect children online. The latest coming up.
And also coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast, followed by the marine forecast. And later on Sunrise, we'll take another look at that rain and showers coming with that cool front this weekend. Roads, if y'all are tuning in with us this morning, we're looking at a live look at Cuero, where it's a little bit cloudy out there this morning. a little bit chilly as well, and also a little bit humid this morning. Right now about 48 degrees right now, but with a dew point of 45, just 3 degrees off from the temperature. You got a 90% humidity, so it is a little bit humid out there, but not enough to create fog. But you might see some dew on your windshields this morning. But if you're sending your kiddos out the door this morning and off to school, it's going to be about 50. Might want to pack them just a light jacket because they'll probably be taking that jacket off by later this morning because it is going to be warming up nicely yet again for like the 4th day in a row. Back to 73 this afternoon. We had a great day to get outside and go do something outside today. But looking at your weather and health forecast here, I've been having the awful sniffles all morning so far. So might be a good idea to take an allergy pill today with that tree pollen being a moderate. But UV index is also moderate as well. Not too bad though. But looking at your forecast for the rest of this week into this weekend and next week, that cool front's coming away Saturday afternoon, bringing us a good shot of some showers and thunderstorms overnight Friday night into Saturday morning, where we could see those showers ending by around noontime. But it's going to be windy as well, bringing us right back into the 60s and 70s later next week. And we'll take a look at that more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Coaches around the Crossroads anxiously awaiting today's schedules and district being shaken up. Here's sports reporter Zach Brown.
It happens once every 2 years, and today is that day, and that is UIL realignment. And as it was said a few months back, Victoria East and Victoria West will be in different districts this year, but that should not take away from the game itself. They would likely just have it scheduled much earlier in the year, but of course we've got an entire Crossroads region that will learn of their new positioning. We will find that out early this morning. Over at Victoria East on Tuesday, the girls led 50-3 at the half over Ray, and this is the first possession of that second half. You kind of get the idea. The girls simply outmatching the Ray Texans en route to a 93-17 win. Cameron Jackson had 17 points all by herself, which led the way. KK Cleveland and Celine Longoria followed that up with 16 points apiece. Nevaeh Sanchez rounds out the double-digit scores with 13. Girls still undefeated in district play. With your 25 Sports Now, I'm Zach Brown.
Thank you, Zach. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. In a blistering hearing on Capitol Hill, senators accused tech giants of failing to protect children from abuse online, including from sexual predators, suicide, eating disorders, and bullying. The chief executives promising to do more. And in an unexpected moment, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg apologizing to parents in the room who say the platforms have harmed their children.
The chief executives of Meta, X, TikTok, Snap, and Discord grilled in a tense Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on the dangers of social media for children.
You have blood on your hands. You have a product. You have a product that's killing people.
Senators accuse the tech CEOs of failing to protect their most vulnerable users. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg repeatedly saying his job was to build industry-leading tools and empower parents. At the back of the room, grieving families held up images of their kids they say took their own lives because of abuse on these platforms. In a rare public apology, Zuckerberg turned around and faced them.
I'm sorry for everything that you've all been through. No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered. And this is why we invested so much and are going to continue doing industry-leading efforts to make sure that no one has to go through the types of things that your families have had to suffer.
Meta announced earlier this month it has beefed up its child safety features and has started hiding inappropriate content from teenagers' accounts and restricting minors' abilities to receive messages from anyone they aren't connected to. But Brandon Guffey, a father at the hearing who blames Instagram for his son's death by suicide after he was sexually exploited, says the companies still aren't doing enough.
Your actions speak louder than words. So there's nothing that you can say until you start implementing these changes.
The committee last year approved several bills, including one that would remove tech firms' immunity from certain civil or criminal liability. But so far, none have become law. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
It's February, but for one local family, it still feels like Christmas. The Cayman Furniture Company delivered furniture to a home in our area Wednesday. It's their annual Magic of Christmas giveaway, which was postponed in December. For the Galvan family, they thought it was just another Wednesday. They had just moved into a new home. They thought they were doing a walkthrough of their home with the landlord, but then they saw a fire truck, a Cayman Furniture truck, and Santa Claus, so they knew something was up.
They have room, man. They have room in the trailer house that we were in. They were just growing out of it, man. They couldn't fit in their rooms, and our oldest didn't even have his own bed in that room. So now he has his own bed here and everything. So it means a lot. Cameron said he's so grateful because he's never had anything like this.
Yeah, I haven't really talked to them. They're like, they're all looking around. They're excited. They're excited. So.
Raymond and Felicia have 5 children ranging in ages 8 to 16, and they say this will have a great impact on their family, getting a complete house full of brand new furniture from couches, chairs, mattresses, bunk beds, rugs, and more. The time is now 6:47 on our Thursday morning. Still to come, Big Pharma and the government will begin to haggle over the prices of some of the costliest drugs for millions of older Americans.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. Got another weather poll for today because it's going to get a little windy over the next couple of days. And also, today is National Texas Day. So, National Texas Day. So, today, let's ask your weather poll for today. Today's weather poll asks, what is the strongest hurricane to make landfall in Texas? So, let's see what y'all are saying. None of y'all are saying Hurricane Harvey. Trick question, Hurricane Harvey is the #1 rainfall accumulating hurricane on record. Hurricane Alicia, 1983, that's 7% of y'all. That's another trick question. That was one of the 1900s ones. That was also very strong. Hurricane Rita, 2005. None of y'all said that. That's also a trick question. That was the strongest hurricane in the Gulf that made landfall in Texas, but it wasn't the strongest when it made landfall. And Hurricane Carla, that is the winner chicken dinner today. In 1961, it had wind speeds of around 145 when it made landfall in Port Lavaca, if you believe that. But thanks for voting on today's weather poll. To vote on future weather polls, go to crossroadstoday.com/vote-weather to participate and see what everybody else says as well. Now, like I said, looking at those wind speeds for today, it's going to get a little bit windy, only gusting up to about the 15-mile-an-hour range, maybe 20 if we get a little windy today. But the next couple days, we're going to have wind gusts up to 35 and even 40 by Sunday and Monday. But looking at yesterday's temperature, we got up to 72, and if you like that, it's going to stick around until we got our cool front coming our way Saturday afternoon, which is bringing us a good shot at some showers and thunderstorms overnight Friday night into Saturday morning, probably cutting off by around noontime, and we'll look at that and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Big Pharma and the government will begin to haggle over the prices of some of the costliest drugs for millions of older adults. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Service will present an opening offer to drug makers Thursday on each of the prices of the 10 medications. They include drugs used to treat heart disease, certain cancers, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, and other conditions. Mandated by the Inflation Reduction Act, it marks the first time that Medicare is able to negotiate with drug manufacturers over prices. The negotiations are set to last through August 1st. Final prices are set to be announced September 1st, but they won't go into effect until 2026. Pharmaceutical companies are pushing back, calling the negotiations unconstitutional. The Biden administration faces several lawsuits over the program. Disney is set to begin banning password sharing on its streaming services. It's a move that follows in the footsteps of one of its top competitors, Netflix. In an email to Hulu subscribers Wednesday, the company said it would start limiting sharing accounts outside of your household starting March 14th. Hulu's user agreement, along with those for Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, explicitly prevent users from impersonating someone else by using their username or password. All 3 user agreements were last updated on January 25th. It's unclear, though, when the password sharing language was added to the agreements for Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. Disney's CEO hinted in August that this move was coming. At the time, he said the company planned to address the issue of password sharing in 2024. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Several people hurt after a hangar collapsed in Boise, Idaho on Wednesday. 3 people were killed and 9 others hurt after a building collapsed in Boise, Idaho Wednesday. The city of Boise says 5 of the people hurt were in critical condition this morning. The city fire division chief said all of those who were in or near the building at the time of the collapse have been accounted for. A crane located at the site had also collapsed. Authorities say the structure was a hangar under construction located on the Boise Airport's property. Airport operations were not impacted. The cause of the collapse is under investigation. The National Weather Service has posted a river flood warning for the Crossroads. The warning for Victoria and Calhoun counties is in effect until later this evening for the Guadalupe River near Bloomington. As of 6 a.m. this morning, the river was at 20.11 feet. Flood stage there is 20 feet. Election day is this Saturday for the mayoral election in the city of Victoria. 14 polling centers will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On the ballot, it's Peter Brown, Carissa Winters, Josephine Solis, Dwayne Crocker, Jacob Sauceda, and Bob Constantine. Join us Saturday for complete coverage of the special mayoral election. Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller visiting Victoria today. He's speaking at the Colony Creek Country Club in support of State Representative District 30 candidate A.J. Louderback. House District 30 consists of DeWitt, Lavaca, Jackson, Goliad, Matagorda, and Victoria counties. The campaign event will be held this evening from 5 to 7:30 and will include a message from Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. People experiencing homelessness in the Crossroads are getting the chance to share their stories at an event open to the public. The Faces of Hope panel aims to integrate homeless Victorians into the community by giving audience members the chance to listen to the perspectives of those living homeless. The event aims to offer an open conversation on solutions to fight housing and food insecurity. The 2-hour panel, organized by the Homeless Coalition of the Golden Crescent, will be held at the UHV West Alcorn Auditorium starting at 1 p.m. today. To learn more, come to our website, crossroadstoday.com. South Texas Blood and Tissue Center urgently asking for blood donors of all blood types. The center especially needs type O and platelet donors to make an appointment now to meet the daily demand that's demanded by those hospital patients. The need for blood, especially type O, is really high. O-negative blood is critical because it can be used in any patient in any emergency, while O-positive is the most common blood type. Platelets are also urgently needed to support patients undergoing chemotherapy and suffering from traumatic injuries. New. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing 5 cities: Austin, San Marcos, Killeen, Elgin, and Denton to block their ordinances decriminalizing low-level marijuana possession. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And now we've time for a final look at our forecast with Parker. Parker, how's it looking out there?
Well, Carolina, it's looking like a nice and pretty sunrise here in Victoria. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to go out there and take a selfie too, because that is pretty. Look at that nice, pretty pink sky in the back underneath those clouds. A little bit of cloud cover hanging out over us right now with the temperature of 51 right now, so a little bit chilly and also a little bit humid, but the good news is the fog is gonna be lifting right about now or the next 30 minutes, if there is any, in those southern counties. But look at those temperatures. It's going to be warming back to the 70s for today, tomorrow, and the next day, but we're going to have a good shot at some showers and thunderstorms overnight Friday night into Saturday morning, where we could see those showers finally ending by Saturday around noontime.
So we may get some rain for that Heart Walk on Saturday.
Yep, there might be some showers.
We're going to have to be on the lookout. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Thursday, and be sure to join us tonight for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.